I think what I really wanted to do, I wanted to come on here and whinge about AI, but I kind of want the channel to be positive, but at the same time, I want it to be an authentic and honest space. So with that in mind, I'm going to whinge about AI a little bit. And where I've decided to put myself with it all. Where I've decided to land, I guess, for the time being. I mentioned it in my first video that on social media, especially Instagram, and I don't even go on Instagram a whole lot lately, it feels like if the software, if the tools themselves aren't promoting things and launching things, which was the case a while ago, there's a lot of creators talking about AI and selling something, courses, downloads, their services, their frameworks, that kind of thing. And whereas I really love the idea that people are making their own way in the world and seeing opportunity and putting themselves out there and making money, that is how life works, and more power to them. Seeing the content talking about AI and, you know, where they've decided to cash in on it is getting me down. Why is it getting me down? I guess because generally speaking, the tactics any one of this type of creator is going to use is fake urgency, and often relying on doom and panic. Because I think with AI, if we're not promoting, look how cool this thing is, look at what it can do, look at what it can achieve, replace, change, look at how it can revolutionize, you know, whatever it is that it's focused on. The feelings around it are having to adopt new things, keep up with new things, different things that are required of creatives, for example, and you have to prey on their worry, and if they don't have worry, you have to instill worry, which I definitely don't agree with. I don't like that. And even when you're aware of it, I feel like, definitely for myself, it gets to me, like if I haven't got my wits about me and I'm just casually scrolling and all of a sudden I'm in a panic. I don't think it's fair. I don't like where we're at with AI right now. I don't like this phase. I'm trying to figure out how to navigate it all. And I'm not anti-AI. I spend a lot of time talking to ChatGPT is my sidekick. I dabble with Claude and Gemini, and yeah, AI as tools within other software where available. I'll use it. I'll lean on it where it's good. I don't use it to replace a lot of what I work on. I use it mainly as like a mental sparring partner. I'll sense check things through it. I'll use it to help with generating ideas or versions of things. I'll use it to process my own thoughts or ideas. Kind of like if you had a co-worker with you, which I obviously don't because I work alone, Having someone there to say, oh, what do you think of this? And like having a space to think out loud outside of your own head. That's what I use it for. And helping me plan things and sometimes figure out better ways of doing things or ways of structuring things. I use it for shortcuts when something's maybe not important, like things that, like life admin stuff where, you know, if we can do it quicker, the better. That kind of thing is useful as well when you can offload things to it. When it's quicker to write a prompt or have a quick conversation with it and then have it maybe draft that email or, you know, shortlist some things for you and then you can do the research. That kind of thing is really cool. But in terms of work and in terms of creativity, I'm not at the point yet where I'm handing things off to it and giving it the reins. I don't know where I'll end up with that. And I know there's big shifts in the industry where we're offloading a lot of work, production work, some thinking work, to AI, different platforms. And ChatGPT just launched its Codex and ChatGPT work. And obviously Claude Code's been out for a while. I think on this channel, I really want to give some of these a good test drive. I'm curious how good they really are, because I think a lot of the AI situation right now in the world is perception of AI. And the perception is AI is brilliant and it can do all these things, and the people who make decisions in companies, in brands, the hiring and the firing is getting done based on these perceptions. And I don't think that's good, because people are losing jobs. There are less positions available overall. There's less positions for juniors, and I'm not a junior, far from it, but if we don't have an influx of juniors coming in, where are we training up the midweights and the seniors in all creative fields, in all fields, actually. It's not just the creative sector. There's going to be a bit of a problem, and I think it's short-sighted at the minute to decimate workforces for the sake of cost-cutting. And let's face it, a lot of the AI stuff is very samey. And it's not cost effective. I think we're seeing already that the price of producing something where someone skilled would have been working on the project, and now if we replace them and we have to iterate using the tools, using the AI tools, the cost implications are increasing. You do end up having to have someone, whether that's a designer, a professional copywriter, a dev, someone with the technical ability and experience to look over the work and make sure it's going to perform, make sure it's correct. And yeah, are we spending more time picking apart subpar work? Like, is that where we're at? I don't know. I'm interested in what you think and where you are and how it's affected you, or how you've been adopting the tools yourself. Like, how do you use them in your work? Is there any that you think I should try? Is there any you love? Is there anything you hate? Has anything gone really well that you've worked on and thought this is the way forward? Like I say, I do love ChatGPT, but I've explained how I use it, and I'm always looking for ways to incorporate more into my workflow that makes sense, and that is the important part, that it makes sense and still feels like the work is mine. Tell me where you're at in it all. I'm interested to know. So not so much of a whinge and not so negative. It's kind of a question really, like, where are we collectively? I'm feeling my way through it, and I think it's going to be part of the journey on this channel. AI is definitely here to stay, I think. Is there a bubble? Is it going to burst? Has it burst? People are saying it's already burst. I don't know. There's a lot going on, and I think as a professional in 2026, where we're at now, and definitely as a creative professional, it's part of everyday language. It's part of our everyday process and workflow. It's part of our everyday tool set and should be becoming part of our stack of skills. But to what extent, and what are we giving it license to, and what are we letting it make the calls on, the final calls, and does it make the work ours at the end of the day? And is that important? I think it is. Over to you. Let me know. And I'll talk to you again really soon.